The binge-worthy fictional story of a real-life Wasseypur was inspired by characters as much a part of real as real life. Dhanbad and Wasseypur are no longer in Bihar, but Mokama is. The shootout on 30th of October is a reminder of internecine war between Bihar gang lords that were once rampant but never went out of fashion in the pole-bound state. In Mokama, a routine assembly fight turned into a high-stakes prestige battle between two political satraps, and because it is Bihar, it is also about caste. Dularchand Yadav was once very close to the RJD chief Lalu Prasad Yadav. They were both Yadavs, but he was never given a ticket by Lalu. In the 1990 Bihar Assembly elections, he was a Lokdal B candidate for the Mokama seat, which he lost convincingly to the Bhumihar strongman Dilip Singh. In 1995, he ran as an independent from the adjoining Bakhtiarpur seat. He got less than 3,000 votes. On Thursday, the 30th of October 2025, he was shot dead while campaigning for a Jan Swaraj party candidate, Piyush Priyadarshi. Anant Kumar Singh, aka Chote Sarkar, was a close aide of JDU chief Nitish Kumar. Rising rapidly in political equations, he used his clout to enforce JDU dominance in the Bhumihar belt in and around Mokama. Anand Singh is the JDU candidate for the Mokama constituency. According to Anand Singh's nomination papers, he has 28 ongoing cases against him. The crimes he is charged with include murder, criminal conspiracy, torture, kidnapping and assault, as well as several arms cases. The police have arrested Anand Singh on the charge of murdering Dularchand Yadav. The de facto RJD candidate for the Mokama seat is another Bhumihar strongman, Surajbhan Singh, aka Dada. Convicted on murder charges, he is debarred from contesting elections. So his wife is the official candidate, but the clout is still his. In the 2000 assembly elections, Surajbhan, contesting as an independent, had defeated Dilip Singh, aka Bade Sarkar, Anand Singh's elder brother. Since then, the two Bhumihar families have been at loggerheads over dominance and political control of the entire Mokama region. Anand Singh has claimed it was Surajbhan who had Dularchand killed. Dularchand Yadav's post-mortem report says he died of cardiorespiratory failure due to shock caused by injury to the heart and lungs by a hard and blunt substance. In other words, bones in Dularchand's chest were broken and a ruptured lung caused respiratory obstruction, leading to death. The murder of Dularchand may have changed the caste equations for the 2025 elections in Mokama. About 90 kilometers away from Patna, this assembly constituency is known for its Bahubalis and Dons, where political power is not just contested at the voting booths, but also in the streets, enforced by guns and ruled by caste dynamics. The Mokama seat, since creation, has always elected a Bhumihar. But since 1990, the seat has belonged to a Bahubali from either of the two dominant Bhumihar families now. For 100 years and more, the land that is Bihar has been witness to massive peasant movements, violent mobilizations and restlessness in society. Many a time, logic has been advanced that only through authoritarian rule could there be a state of stability in Bihar. One of the major factors in this state of affairs is the prominence of caste in politics. Caste blocked modernization. Caste prevented democratization of politics. Yet ironically, redrawing of caste supremacy was itself an act of political democratization, but one that perpetuated division.
The law and order situation was not as good as the later years since 2005 in Bihar. In fact, to be honest, because the entire elite in Bihar changed, prior to 1990, the elite was largely led by upper caste aristocracy, if you want to call it. Once Lalu came, the upper castes were replaced by the OBC, mainly by the Yadavs, right? OBC mainly Yadavs, also to some extent Muslims. So that replacement in any society, when that takes place, that generates violence. There was the Ranbir Sena on one side, there were other Senas, and the Lal Sena, the Maoists. So this is something totally ended by the time Nitish Kumar came. Law and order was at its lowest, and there was economic stagnation. That is what opponents call the Jungle Raj of Bihar. There was no jungle in Bihar as such, but the lack of law and order, the lack of some kind of economic progress, and Lalu sat over it. I don't know consciously or unconsciously, but he just sat over it. He didn't do much about it.
लालू जी के नाम से ही जंगल राज आता है. देखिए फ़र्क क्या होता है, अभी भी लोग कहते हैं कि नीतीश कुमार के राज में भी तो गोलियां चल रही है ना, हॉस्पिटल में जाकर हत्या हो रही है, लेकिन लालू राज में और किसी और सरकार के राज में फ़र्क यह है कि क्या सत्ता उसको संरक्षण कर रही है, प्रोटेक्ट कर रही है. लालू राज में यह आरोप लगा कि जो सत्ता में बैठे हुए लोग थे वो अपराधियों को प्रोटेक्ट कर रहे थे. उस जंगल राज से लोग डरते हैं.
There was a time when caste wars and the churning of classes meant villagers kept weapons for security. Celluloid depictions of the gun-toting dons of Bihar abound, flaunting political connections if not ambitions. They rampage across viewers' sensibilities, creating the cliché of the Bahubali culture still existing in 2025. The incident in Mokama is proof enough that some of what gets shown on popular fiction is not fiction after all. According to eyewitness accounts, Anand Singh and his associates surrounded the 74-year-old Dularchand Yadav, who tried to flee. It is alleged that Anand Singh himself shot Dularchand in the heel, and when he fell, an SUV ran over him. In this case, the victim, the accused, and the person the accused has in turn accused are all history sheeters. The case files against them are long and old. It is not out of the ordinary for politicians and political aspirants to have criminal records in Bihar. Out of the 1,303 Phase 1 candidates analysed by the Association for Democratic Reforms (ADR) and Bihar Election Watch, 32% or 423 have criminal cases registered against them. 354 of them are facing serious charges like murder, attempt to murder, and rape. The situation is no different for the second phase. Out of the 1,297 candidates analysed, the percentage does not change of candidates with criminal cases. It is again 32% or 415 candidates with criminal cases against them. 341 of them face serious charges. In total, there are at least 695 alleged criminals who want to represent the people of Bihar in the assembly. It would not be surprising if a fair percentage of them won their seats. In the early years of independence, the Bhumiyars, accounting for less than 3% of Bihar's population, maintained a tight grip over the political as well as economic resources of the state. Their feudal attitude prevented any major transfer of resources to the poor sharecroppers and landless labourers of the state. In the 1960s and 70s, Naxalism emerged as an act of resistance against the upper castes and Bhumihar landlords. This produced an equally violent backlash from the upper castes, who formed armed caste armies. The political history of Bihar since then has been written in violence. Year after year, violence followed violence as massacres and counter-massacres pockmarked Bihar. The clout and dominance by Bhumihars were challenged when Lalu Yadav came to power in 1990, and he began dispensing patronage mainly to Yadavs at the expense of Bhumihars. A new generation of satraps began to emerge on either side of the divide, where crime and politics began to converge. The Don of Siwan, Mohammad Shahabuddin, won an MLA seat as an independent. Pappu Yadav, a trigger-happy gangster during the 90s, became MP from Madhepura. Others like Surajbhan Singh, Ashok Samrat, Satish Pandey and Ritlal Yadav all held territory in Bihar's political landscape. Bindi Yadav of Gaya spelled terror in the Magad region for almost 3 decades. Surendra Prasad Yadav held ministerial posts in successive RJD governments. The 8-term MLA and 2-term MP has at least 9 cases pending against him. Another Don, Anand Mohan, was convicted in the murder of a district magistrate and was sentenced to death, the first politician in independent India to be given the death penalty. His sentence was later commuted and he was released when the Bihar prison rules were amended by Chief Minister Nitish Kumar. Sunil Pandey was known as Dr. Don because of his PhD on the Jain Tirthankar Mahavir's philosophy of ahimsa. After 2005, special courts were set up to clear long pending cases and many high-profile Bahubalis were sent to prison. The likes of Mohammad Shahabuddin, Anand Mohan and Surajbhan were convicted on murder cases, making them redundant in state politics. Some tried hard to retain political clout by pushing their wives into politics. Some, like Anand Singh and Sunil Pandey, continued to get elected, but their power and clout is much diminished. In Bihar, many of the candidates not only possess guns, but also flaunt it as a symbol of power and dominance, have disclosed ownership of firearms in their affidavits filed with the Election Commission of India. Deputy Chief Minister Vijay Kumar Sinha, the BJP candidate from Lakhisarai, former leader of the opposition, has declared a rifle and revolver. Another Deputy Chief Minister, Samrat Chaudhary, who is contesting from Tarapur, disclosed ownership also of a rifle and a revolver. Even Nitish Kumar's main challenger, Tejasvi Yadav, owns an Italian Beretta pistol and 50 rounds of ammunition worth 1.05 lakh rupees. Muscle and politics have for long gone hand in hand in Bihar. Dularchand Yadav was one such muscle man whose immense influence in Mokama was needed by Piyush Priyadarshi to counter the influence of the Anand Singh camp. On 30th of October, Piyush and Dularchand were returning after campaigning when they met with Anand Singh's group coming from the opposite side. Eyewitnesses say one of Anand's supporters used an SUV to block the road near Baswan Chowk. First there were heated words, then fisticuffs, and finally gunfire. In a matter of minutes, Dularchand Yadav was dead and all the stereotypes about the bads of Bihar was once more very much alive.